Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back for another Chainsaw Man chapter review. In this time, we get what I sort of predicted, but not at all. Like usual, most of the stuff that gets predicted, it just gets thrown out the window. Fujimoto's always throwing curveballs at us, man. But we'll just get right into it with chapter 132, Protection. So, interesting title name, but we start with NAYUTA. She's just chilling. She's eating her lunch. I don't know if it's just how it's drawn or like she's actually doing this, but she's holding the chopsticks like a fork or something. I'm not sure what she's doing, but it seems like she's using her powers right here because she's saying, yo, both you guys, give me your desserts. And they're like, yes, ma'am. And they they just give it to her. And most elementary school kids are not gonna give up the best part of the meal, the dessert. So I think she's just using her powers here. So we hear a different conversation that is these girls, I think, talking about, there's a lot of people absent today, and I heard a lot of people are moving, and somebody's like, I don't think they're moving or absent, bro. They're dead. And they're like, my friend died yesterday. And they're like, they're not dead. They're missing for now. Keep your hope alive. But Knight's just like, oh, really? And then we just see soldiers entering the school and they're running through and they pop into the cafeteria, bro. And they're literally just holding guns against NAYUTA. So this is sort of where we get the idea of protection coming in, because they're coming to protect NAYUTA. And at the end of the chapter, they have Denji in the protection. But this is where my predictions gone, because I thought we were gonna get a little NAYUTA arc, but at least we got to see a little bit of how she works in school, because she's using her powers in school, which was something I was like, I feel like she wouldn't, but now we know that she does. She doesn't really care at all. But right now we're gonna cut away from this to Asa, and she's at a hospital right now, but she's asleep having these nightmares. But in the background we can hear the TV or the news, and they're talking about, power has been going out everywhere. There's gonna be scheduled blackouts and stuff, and report any person that seems to have fear during this situation to a certain number. So I thought this was interesting because they're report any person that has fear. So it's what are they gonna send them to, where therapy or maybe to a hospital or something like that, or maybe they're sending them to a prison? I don't think it'd be that dark. I feel like it'd just be therapy, because the fear is what gives devils powers, and there's a lot of people dying around the world right now. In Japan, there's a lot of people dying because of the falling devil. So the more fear that accumulates, the stronger the falling devil will get, the stronger that this apocalypse will seem to be, or stuff like that. So they're right now the confirmed casualties are 2,000. But then Asa wakes up and she's like, huh, what's happening? And she sits up, and this old lady sitting next to her, she's like, my granddaughter was about your age. She died from a rock that fell on her. And I'm like, what? So that's so out of pocket, bro. Why do I need to bring that up? And then we just hear regular hospital stuff, move out of the way, everybody move, oh my God, all this stuff. And then she thinks, Chainsaw Man saved me again. And I think that this little amount of dialogue from Asa sort of means a lot, because I think she's a little bit depressed. She already was depressed. She's a depressed girl, but I think that she's even more depressed because she does have these war devil powers. She is able to fight, and she did really nothing to defeat, those devils. And, everything's going to Denji. All the praise is going to Denji because, he's the Chainsaw Man. But she's like, man, I couldn't do anything again. She's just mad that she couldn't do anything, I feel like. So yeah, she's just sitting there in depression. We cut away from this, and this entire Asa thing, I think, was just an exposition dump and then a transition into the next scene where we get to see somebody who's like, it isn't just Japan. Gravitational fluctuations have affected the entire world so far. The falling devil and her ability has affected the earth, just in general, because gravity is a pretty strong ability, and she used it very liberally. So also, if you guys like Chainsaw Man and you guys want more videos each week, just please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Back to the video. I mean, I didn't really expect anything to come from this because, usual shonen, there's really no drawbacks to any of the fights. But this one, they're like, yeah, the world's about to end, or it seems like it's going to end. There's been tsunamis, there's been sinkholes, there's been everything coming across the world. But the person keeps saying, is this world going toward the apocalypse? Can we really count on these politicians and devil hunters? Who was it that beat both the gun devil and the falling devil? Chainsaw Man. And I mean, this reminds me of sort of like a political rally, something like that, but this is just like on the stage of like a really low grade like TV show in Japan where he's just talking to a stage audience and they're just laughing at him basically. But it gets revealed that this is the class president and he's talking about Chainsaw Man will save us, and I want to work with him. He asks for no reward. It's so valiant of this man. And he's like, I and those who think the same formed an organization, and we get to see the organization is the Chainsaw Man Society for Peace. And I love the background for him because like I'm guessing that the show people made this for him, but it just says Chainsaw Man fan pretty boy, the youth's opinion. And I'm just like, bro, I love how they just call him a fanboy like right off. Like we've been calling him that since the start, man. He is just a Chainsaw Man fanboy. But he's like, our society, we're recruiting talent to fight alongside Chainsaw Man. Help us prevent any more catastrophes, man. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, peace. Yeah, dude, yeah, that's hilarious. And then the host tries to make a joke, like, he's like, be careful, because if you fail college exams, your life will end before the world and stuff like that. And the crowd's eating it up. It's probably a lot funnier in Japanese because, the wordplay that they can have. But we basically cut to backstage. He's like, God damn it, Fammy. Like, how could you let me just get laughed at like that? And I love it. Like, this man, he's like the face of this organization. He's not the brains, Fammy is, but he's like, they spun all my words into jokes. And Fammy's like, relax. That doesn't matter. That really was the point, you getting made fun of. And he's like, why? Like, why do I have to get made fun of? And she's like, you don't need to think, bro. Shut up. And then we see this hand reach out of the darkness and like grab his shoulder. And he's like, it's just like Fammy says, your job is to be the face. Fammy's the brains. I don't know why I think he's like an Italian mob boss or something. But he's like, together, you guys move the body that is the Chainsaw Man Society. Some metaphorical shit, this guy's on a different plane of fucking thinking, bro. But he's like, with that body, you're gonna walk around this world without any evil, right? And he's like, yes, I will. This is all for Chainsaw Man's sake. And obviously the class president, he's scared, bro. This person, it reminds me like a Dio situation where, he's cloaked in darkness and he's telling his minions, you better do this. Or like, if you don't, you already know what's going to happen because, I'm way stronger than you. Stuff like that. Because if obviously this dude's a regular human, I mean, the Chainsaw Man boy, the fanboy, the class president, he's a regular dude. I mean, from what we see. And I think this person's hand, that's the fake Chainsaw Man. The dude that actually killed Yuko and like, the one that saved them. I think that this is the fake Chainsaw Man. But it is interesting because he does say like, you're going to walk the world without any evil, right? And it just sort of gives me the vibes of that fake Chainsaw Man. And like, he killed Yuko. I'm not sure why, but he did that. And I think because she was a devil, she took a contract. Maybe that was sort of evil in his eyes. But we cut away from this and we see Denji. We see Denji sitting there. He's tied up, hands behind his back, sitting on his chair naked, almost naked. He has underwear on, but Yoshida's sitting there. He's like, that was a relief, man. I'm glad we could get you under protection before anything else happened. And Denji's like, you call this protection, man? Like, you got me bound up, tied here, half naked, bro. I haven't eaten, I haven't slept. Actually, I was sleeping in class, and actually that's how I got here. Because he's talking about, you call this like protection? Like, I was sleeping in class. Next thing I know, I'm here naked, bro. I need food. But Yoshida's like, Asa's in the hospital right now. And, her injuries are minor because she did get a few scrapes and she was in the hospital early this chapter. But Denji's like, where's NAYUTA? And where are the dogs? And Yoshida, he's like, right now, we're protecting them both. It's fine. Same as you. They're the same as you. And Denji's like, what? Like, he jumps out of his chair. He's like, if you try to do what you're doing to me, to them, I'm gonna kill you, bro. I'm gonna kill you dead. He literally says, I'm gonna kill you dead. But he's like, send me home right now. I'll even I'll even tongue your butthole as like thank you for a week. And bro, Denji, like, what? I mean, we've seen him do these things, like he's making these deals. Like he was a chair for Yoshida for a little bit, and he'll do anything, really anything at this point. He's eating puke, and Yoshida's sitting up there. He's just sitting like this, like, yeah, I like to hear that. Can't wait to get my butthole. No, he doesn't say that. He's like, that's not necessary. We won't harm the dogs or Nayuta, but he says, not while you're under our protection anyways. And Denji, he just says, go to hell. Like, he just says, go to hell. End of the chapter, no break next week. But I think this means that public safety has them, because it seems like they use the Japanese military to get Nayuta, because they were soldiers, and maybe if it was a private place, they wouldn't have a military might like that to be able to just go into a Japanese public school and just take somebody. So yeah, I think he's with public safety right now, but it's really interesting him saying we're only going to protect them while you're under our protection or whatever. So I wonder if that means Denji's going to have to work for them to like keep Nayuta and his dog safe, which would be interesting, because then, they would be sending Denji on like bigger missions, and we get to see, maybe some more global stuff, because this prophecy is supposed to happen. The Devil Hunters know, at least Yoshida knows about it, and he voices some concern about it. So yeah, I think we're gonna start fighting this prophecy in some way. I'm not sure what the final goal of part 2 is. I mean, the same as part 1, like we had no clue like who the final villain was, even though we knew it was going to be Makima in some sense. Like from the start of part 1, she's always been like, an enigma, something where there's a lot more there than being shown and told, and we all knew that from the start. And once more went on, we got to know that she is the big villain in this. But we don't have that type of person in this, like part 2. All we've been doing is more like slice of life stuff, and I mean, it's completely fine, but I think we're gonna need to have a big threat come in soon, like Death Devil, or another thing, maybe the Human Devil. I'm not sure. I have a theory that the Human Devil is actually like the progenitor to the Four Horsemen, which is interesting. But yeah, what comes next is really, anything, because Fujimoto is obviously just, he doesn't really care. He's just throwing shit at us, like from left and right. Like I expect the next chapter to be, if it's not another setup chapter like this one, it's going to be something where it's going to be a big thing going to get revealed, which we need some more juice. I need some more meat. This chapter was good, but it was really just a setup one. Like we didn't get much meat and potatoes, bro. We got info dumps, sort of. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you did like the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys, and peace.